Thank you so much for joining today's information session. My name is Shireen. I'm part of the Start Space team here at the State Library Victoria. And I'm really excited to walk you through everything you need to know about the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarships 2026. Before we get started, I would like to let you know that this session is being recorded and the recording will be published online on the StartSpace website within the next 24 hours. We will share the link with everyone who registered for today's info session. As we go along, please feel free to use the chat functionality. My colleague Amir, who you see here as well, wave Amir, hi. And we will keep an eye on the chat and we will have a dedicated session at the end where we will answer all your questions. I would like to start with an acknowledgement of country. On behalf of the State Library Victoria, I would like to acknowledge the traditional lands of all the Aboriginal clans and their cultural practices and knowledge systems. We recognize that our collections hold traditional cultural knowledge belonging to Indigenous communities in Victoria and around the country. We support communities to protect the integrity of this information gathered from their ancestors in the colonial period. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, who have handed down these systems of practice to each new generation for millennia. So, in today's session, we will give you an overview of the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarships. We will first speak about the eligibility criteria, then speak about the benefits which come with the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarships, the selection criteria, how to make your applications shine, how to apply, the timeline, and then you will meet Josh and Rowini, our 2025 scholars. And we all, Rowini, Josh, Amir, and I will be answering your questions, which you please add into the chat functionality. You will see a little icon on the top, and if you click on this, please add your questions into the chat. So, the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarships were created to support early stage founders. As Lisa Ring says, founders often have brilliant ideas, but they lack funds to progress their businesses. You might ask yourself, what is an early stage business? So we use LaunchVic's definition of early stage startups. That means you have registered your startup as a business and started to formalize your operations, and you are in the testing phase for the startup where you aim to build a minimum viable product quickly and cheaply. For 2026, we will reward 2 scholarships. And I'm really happy to say that this program is now in its 5th year. The scholarships are open to individual founders or also teams of 2. That doesn't mean that when you have, let's for example say 4 founders, you can still apply. So you just need to address 1 main applicant and 1 secondary applicant. The aim of this program is to give you the resources and the support you need to develop your business and grow as a founder. And as you can see, applications are open now and they close on Sunday, the 7th of September. So, who can apply? To be eligible, you need to be based in Victoria and be aged 18 or over. You should be working on a new or early stage business that is lawful, of course. And yes, applications are open to solo founders as well as teams of 2. And finally, it is really important that you can commit to the full year. So that means from January 2026 until December 2026. The scholarship comes with a great package of benefits. First, each recipient will receive 10,000 of Australian dollar equity-free seed funding. You also get 12 months free membership of Start Space Loft. So that is a co-working space located in the beautiful State Library, Victoria, which is open 7 days per week. You will also get tailored mentoring and coaching. And this is really specific to each scholar, what they need in terms of progressing their business. So now to the really important bit of this session, the key selection criteria. So first, we will have the market and the problem, worth 20%. Here we are looking at your understanding of the customers, the problem you're solving, the size of your market, and how you compare to competitors. And please explain it in an authentic way. So we are not really keen on the TAM and the total addressable market. It's really important that you demonstrate that you understand the market. So make it plausible. The second criteria is solution and innovation, also worth 20%. This is about your product or service, how it solves the problem and what makes it unique, and what is your business model? How do you plan to make revenue? The largest weighting is on scholarship impact and future growth at 30%. We would like to understand how this scholarship will make a difference to you and your business. How would you like to use the funding and the support? And what level of commitment are you ready to make? Fourth is traction and milestones. It's worth 10%. This is where you summarize what you have achieved so far and what are your key goals for the next 12 months. So for example, have you built an MVP? What stage is it in? Or have you spoken to many of your customers? And finally, we assess founder strength and fit, worth 20%. Tell us about yourself and potentially also your co-founder. What skills and experiences and qualities make you the right person to drive the business forward? So let us know if you have experienced the problem yourself, or if you have really unique insights because you researched the topic. The key takeaway here is try to answer each question as best as possible. So, how to apply? As mentioned before, the applications are open and close on Sunday, the 7th of September. And really important is we close at 11:59 Australian Eastern Time Zone, and not any minute later. Then unfortunately we can't have your application as eligible. We advise that you go to our website and read the terms and conditions carefully. You will also find an FAQ section with questions from previous years. And then you can also rewatch the recording, which will be linked on that landing page. What is really important and what we can't highlight enough is draft your questions. Do a spell check and also make sure you submit your application way advance in time. You will see that we use Microsoft Forms this year, and we also ask for a pitch deck, not longer than 10 slides. And also, if you feel comfortable, do a video pitch. You can also just do one of them. But what is really crucial, make sure that those sharing settings are enabled. So when you share the link, please make sure that everyone with the link can see it. So let's come to the timeline. As mentioned a couple of times before now, the applications close on the 7th of September at 11:59. By the 27th of October, we will update you on your application. Winners will be announced at an in-person event late October or beginning of November here at StartSpace in the State Library Victoria. We will let you know when we have the exact date confirmed. Then the official program will start in January 2026 with an introductory meeting and runs then the full year, finishing in December 2026. So, enough from me. Now, let me introduce you to Ruwini Correa and Josh Farrington, the current scholars of the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarships 2025. Ruwini is the founder and CEO of Neurogen, and Josh Farrington is the founder and CEO of Solara Health. So, Ruwini, thanks for being with us today. Ruwini, can you please share how the Lisa Ring and Family Scholarship helped you in your business journey with Neurogen?
Hi everyone, and thank you, Sharon, for having me, inviting me to this event. It's very glad to see several participants, and happy to answer any questions later. So, giving a bit about Neurogen, we are a early stage, very early stage biotech startup, developing a advanced brain implant therapeutics for neurodegenerative diseases. So as you can hear, it's a long journey, and you need a lot of people supporting throughout this journey. And Start Space have been one of the few places who had my back from very beginning, and it's still continuing. So this lasering program came to Neurogen at a very critical place because we were looking to um, establish our IP, and um, through securing patents. And as you know, it costs a lot, and also it needs a lot of like advice and a lot of mentoring and guidance. So all of that was available through the program, and not just the money. It's all about the community as well, because whatever you need, you will always find that specialty within that community. And if you need someone who knows about IP, there's someone over there. If you need someone who knows about finances or accounting or fundraising, you will always find someone within that community. And there will be a lot of people who has had different experiences, and that's one of the biggest benefits from program. And also I wanted to highlight the workspace, office space as well, because I'm from Geelong, and I don't have a office space in Melbourne, so that was fulfilled by Start Space. 12 months is a long term, and the loft is a very comfortable space with a nice community, with all the boardrooms and all the facilities, and it was amazing. And also the mentoring and help from Shireen and Amir, always asking how you're doing, how's this going, which was great.
That's great to hear that it's not all about the money, it's literally about the support from the community.
Absolutely.
Thanks. And looking back, what would be one piece of advice you would give founders who are thinking about applying? Is there anything, Rubini, what you think
Sorry, you
people?
cut off.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So, looking back, what would you say is one piece of advice you would give founders who are thinking of applying to the scholarship for the 2026
I
round?
think um, I think being very honest in your application. Don't over exaggerate. Just tell where you are and what are you right now working on and where you're headed in the next 12 months, and be very open about what you plan to gain from the program. especially I think there's a component asking would you spend the money. It's not just that, like what kind of specialties do you need, what kind of advice you need, what kind of mentorship you need, and be very open because you don't have to be great at everything. That's why you're going into the program to learn all these things to train yourself. And yeah, I think address the selection criteria honestly and briefly and in short. I think that will get your story to the Start Space team.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing, Ruwini.
Mhm.
Josh, over to you. How did the
Great,
scholarship
thank
support?
you.
How did the
Yeah, hopefully
scholarships
there's
support you? Yeah.
yeah, in a number of ways really, and hopefully there's not too much background noise. I'm just currently outside the conference halls, but yeah, a little bit of background first maybe would be valuable. So we're building a patient engagement platform designed to educate, guide, and support hospital patients on long and complex healthcare journeys, and we sell that solution hopefully to hospitals. So we're still in the pre-revenue stage at the moment, but at the time we were awarded this scholarship, we were less than 12 months into the company, so we're now approaching that 2-year mark. And we're starting to finish the MVP of our product, but faced with big challenges in terms of costs relating to big certification and compliance and regulation costs. So for us, that was the ISO 27001 cybersecurity certification, which was a 12-month journey for us, which we've almost completed, but also had some really big, scary costs attached for a bootstrap founder. So that really enabled us to fund that exercise and that activity, which will essentially accelerate our access to market and in many cases enable our access to market whilst also helping us upskill and uplift and mature from a cybersecurity perspective, which is obviously really important when you're dealing with patient data. So that's sort of the financial benefit. It allowed us to do something that we were really quite threatened by, a big cost, a big commitment, and the funding has been really valuable from that perspective. Then there's the additional layers of support as well. We've been embedded into the community there. We've access to the Start Space loft. We've worked out of there as a team. We've met other founders. We've shared ideas and attended many of the events as well. So layering all that on top of the mentoring that was also provided, that was all fantastic and again helped uplift myself and my founding team to, I think, a more mature space as business and founders and tech founders. So yeah, really valuable. I would certainly encourage everybody on the call to apply, and I assume that's why you've dialed in to learn how you can best apply. And on that note, in terms of sort of tips for success, my probably key one would be that I personally submitted the video, and I think if you've got an opportunity to submit an optional video, you always submit the video. I don't know if Rowena did, but I did, I know, and I remember thinking at the time, well, it's not going to hurt. It's only going to strengthen my application. It's more effort, but I think the selection panel are going to want to see commitment. They're going to want to see effort, and sometimes going above and beyond is certainly how you demonstrate that commitment. So that would certainly be my recommendation there.
Awesome. Thanks for your tips how to make an application shine. That's really great. Thank you both. So now we would love to hear from you. Um, what questions do you have about the scholarship, the application process, or even the program itself? And believe me, no question is too small. If you're wondering about something, chances are other people are also thinking about it. So let's hear from you. Do we have any questions, Amir?
Hello, everyone, and hello, Ruwini and Josh. It's always great to see you. We do have some questions that were submitted by some people that registered for the event. One question was, are there any specific industries or sectors that the scholarships are focused on, or is it open to all founders from different sectors?
Good question. And yes, the scholarships are open to founders from all industries and all sectors. There are no restrictions on the type of businesses or ideas.
Would anyone in the event currently like to step up and ask any questions? You're more than welcome to. Please put your hand up and we can unmute you. But until then, so just take a moment, think of a question. Okay, we got Hitendra Singh, just a moment. Okay, go for it. Just unmute yourself.
Cool. Thanks for letting me in. So question I have is currently I'm having a business name, but I'm working as a sole trader. Is there any expectation around during the scholarship program for the next year to register that as in business, or how's that function?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So you don't have to have like the business registered when you apply. And look, this scholarship is like, we know that businesses fail, right? So it really depends on your specific business journey. When you see successes, then obviously you want to register the business, but it's not mandatory.
Yeah, okay. No, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think Zoe got her hand up.
Hi. So my question is regarding the money itself. Do we have to specifically spend it on something that we have to then show? Do we need to does it need to be very specific what the money gets spent on, and do you need to see the paperwork and show you what we've spent it on?
Yeah, look, that's really good because there will be 3 payouts based on certain milestones. So what we need to see is that you come in January, set your goals, then after that we will pay out $4,000 to an Australian bank account. That's really important to note. Then another 3K will be paid out in March when you had like a meeting with the team about your specific milestones. And then the last one will be in June, so another 3K, which will be paid out when you provided like a high level report where you are with your business. But yes, we need to see a receipt. So for what you are spending the money.
Can it go towards wages, or does it have to be specifically on creating like your MVP?
Good follow-up question. Ideally, it goes towards creating, your business, but it depends. Like if wages are a really important, component of your business. So it depends on the business itself, what you're creating. Is it a service-based business or is it a product? So really depends on the business itself. But it's possible to use it for wages as well.
And just as a quick note, an example on that. So we have had in the past, so the scholarships have allowed someone in the past to kind of put their full-time job aside and to support themselves while they embark and focus on developing their startup or their business. So it really depends how you frame that and communicate that in your application and how that might benefit you. We've got another question from Hitendra Singh. So you're welcome to just disable your mic.
Yeah, I think from the question is more with the goals or milestones we're setting up or putting in our application. What is the flexibility? So say sometimes you from the idea to creation or something implementing, you're in a stage and you find something a bit more detailed or something may steer the milestone. How does that function with the milestone which is already submitted?
We are flexible, very flexible.
Cool. But that has to be justified, is it?
Yeah, so what are the learnings about, from it? So as long as you can say to us, look, that was my goal. I didn't achieve it, but I've learned that. That's great.
Okay, cool. Makes sense. Thanks for that.
Shirin, we had another question from someone that registered for the event. What are the expectations in terms of traction? Given it is early stage focused, what still are some expectations of traction?
So there is no fixed benchmark for attraction. What is important that you clearly outline the progress you've made so far, and it could be anything from I've created my minimum viable product, or I've recently launched, or you could be even like very early stage and say, look, I've spoken to 55 customers and conduct those customer interviews. So it's really about what is the traction in an early stage business. So it depends on everyone's journey, but we want to see that it's not based on assumptions. So you're taking steps towards realizing that business and pushing it forward.
I was just going to add to that as well, just to share my personal application. Back 12 months ago, when I was successful, I think my traction existed in the form of having one committed pilot partner who was co-designing our technology with us, but nothing beyond that. So I don't think there's the expectation that you're really far advanced with traction. It's just that you've given it some thought, you have made some progress in some capacity, whether it be research, design, user testing, market testing, those sorts of things.
Yeah, great. Ruini, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think even as a biotech, it's very difficult to show some tangible products or because the processes really do take time. And I think the important part is once you're in the program, the team is working with you, so they know where you're headed, they know what you're up to. So even if you don't meet expectations, so if you give out, truly, honestly give out, this is what I've been doing so far, then it's very easy to understand where you are at. And also, if you want to pivot or make changes to your milestone, it'll be very easy as well, I think. So that covers about the couple of two questions, I think.
Great. Is there any further question from the people in the room?
I would just also add to that it's really important for us and for applications to come from an angle of storytelling also. Besides just providing some data and numbers, is it something personal? Is it something that resonates with you? So what is the story behind it? And yeah, look at it as a storytelling opportunity, not just like really want to get this application and want to get this scholarship, but tell your story and let us see who you are as a founder, as a passionate person, as someone that's tackling an important problem. I think that makes a big difference. On that, we have one last question that someone also submitted. Is there a panel of judges or mentors involved in the scholarship, and who are they?
Yes. So after receiving all the applications, we obviously have to check which application is eligible. You can submit multiple applications theoretically, but you're not encouraged to do that. So we will use the latest one received, and then it will be reviewed by the Start Space team first. We will shortlist all the eligible applications to a list of 10. And then there will be a panel consisting of Lisa Ring and also the State Library Victoria Board and a Start Space staff, who will then select the 2 lucky scholars. Awesome. Well, just conscious of time, what I would like to do is I would like to leave you with some main key takeaways. So please make sure that you read the terms and conditions and that you draft your responses, spell check them, and then submit them via the Microsoft form. And if you include a video pitch, like Josh also highlighted, is very beneficial, please make sure that you select the right sharing settings so we can access it. And please, please, please don't wait to the last minute. Submit your application a little bit far in advance, or not like at 11:58. You never know if there are any kind of technical problems. but please submit your application ahead of time. And yes, we will notify you of the outcome by the 28th of October. But really, most importantly, if you're thinking about applying, our advice is just to go for it. You have nothing to lose, but a huge opportunity to gain. Amazing. Well, thank you everyone for joining today's information session. And if you have any follow-up questions after today, please feel free to get in touch with us via startspace@sav.vic.gov.au. Come and speak to us if you are in Startspace. And yes, we are really excited to see your application, and we wish you the very best of luck. Thank you so much.